and welcome to today's Almost Daily Devotion. We're going to start in Proverbs. We're back in Proverbs again in chapter 17, verse 17, and then 18, 20 to 24. And it goes like this. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity. From the fruit of their mouth a person's stomach is filled. With the harvest of their lips they are satisfied. The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. He who finds a wife finds what is good and receives favor from the Lord. The poor plead for mercy, but the rich answer harshly. One who has unreliable friends soon comes to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. There's probably never been a time in history ever where everybody follows this rule, this guidance. It seems so simple. All you need to find is a good friend. All you need to find is a good friend that you can rely on and stick close to them, stick by them. It turns out it's really, really complicated. Now, we moved a lot when I was a kid. We moved every 3 or 4 years after a while. My dad, that's just how it worked with his job. And so it was hard to make long-term friendships because you didn't know people that long. You knew them for 3 or 4 years, and then you moved on. And I tried as a child to be pen pals with friends, but like when you're 11, pen pals are not fun. I guess maybe for other kids, but it was hard for us. We were not good at I was not good at maintaining those letter writing relationships, and it probably would be different now with text messaging and emails and social media, and it's easier to stay in contact with people who are from, who are distant away, though it's not the same as being close by. So I really admire people who have had friends for their lifetime. It's one of those things that you can feel the lack of if you don't have it. For these friendships, these people you've known for decades, your life, who saw you when you were a silly teenager and walked by you and held your hand even then. It's a real blessing. And I think what it takes to build these long-term relationships, I think one of the things that we have to acknowledge when we want to be in this kind of relationship, this honest, free-flowing, good, sensing relationships, is that we have to make that choice. We have to put in the work. We have to show up with love in our hearts and on our tongues and in our mouths and in our hearts and in our stomach. We have to go with the intention, live with the intention of building that relationship, of creating this back and forth where both sides can trust one another. That if you call, that person's going to be there or going to help in whatever way they can. And what often happens is we find sometimes it's easier just to lie or to not try in the first place. Sometimes we lie because we don't want to be honest with our friends. We don't want to say, I know we had said that we were going to get together this weekend, but I'm really tired. A long week at work. And I really, can we reschedule for another time and just be honest about that? Or instead we lie and we say, the kids are sick, or I broke my ankle or whatever. Now, don't lie with the breaking the ankle. That's hard to fake. But we do this instead of just telling the truth, which is, I'm not going to be a good friend this weekend. I'm not in a place to do that. Can we reschedule? Or can we think of a different way to do it? Or in just being that honest with your friend, I bet they will help you. It's a good friendship, a solid friendship, and they're going to look for a way to help you be better, to feel better, to be in a better space if we're honest about those things, which is hard to do. Now, I think what I find is that the way that we talk to one another has the power to form or break relationships more than anything else. More than anything else. And the number one thing we need to do is to speak kindly, but with truth. And we need to be able to receive that kindly, truthful statement with openness, with an ability to hear the honesty. The other thing that we have to do is we just have to show up. We have to put in the effort. You can't make friends, you can't create relationships if you're not willing to put yourself out there, to be vulnerable enough to say, hey, you want to be friends? I was reading this book the other day about building relationships, about creating relationships, and they said, it's so easy. The first step is so easy. All you have to do is say, hey, my name is, it's nice to meet you. What is it that you like to do? I bet you'll find something in common. It's such an easy statement, but it's so hard to get over that step because we are so afraid of being rejected. We're so afraid that they're going to not like us, that there's going to be something wrong with us, that they're going to figure out whatever secret little thing is inside of us. And you know what? They probably will. But you'll be friends by then, and it's going to be okay. And Proverbs reminds us that it's really important to have those kinds of friendships, those kinds of relationships where you can trust somebody, you can be honest with somebody, that you can be yourself with somebody. So it's worth the effort and the risk.